Happy leap year day, getting an extra day of love here in this month of February. It is February the 29th. I do have an NBA total for you. I have an NBA player prop, and I also have a college basketball bets bet. Let's dive into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Nobility back with another DYF bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. I just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Yesterday, a winning day of the channel. We needed it. 2-1 on the day. Cashing on Virginia on the money line at plus money value. Love to see it. Cashing on the Lakers and Clippers unders. That one went under in the late night. And we did lose on our money line parlay. These are back-to-back days that we've had a full fade on our money line parlays. If I had taken both of these parlays on the other side, we'd probably be up like plus 500 on both of the parlays. Texas A&M loses outright. UAB losing at home outright. Listen, I don't know what these guys are doing, but it happens. 2-1 on the day. Year-to-date record right here, month of February, 44-37. One more day left, so hopefully today we can at least have a winning day, at least maybe have a sweep. We can finish 10 games above 500 if we finish with a sweep today. That's what I'm really looking for. That's what I'm going for. But at the very least, we're going to have a winning month over 52% for the month of February. That's what we're going for here on the channel. So as always, like this video and subscribe to the channel so this way you guys can stay up with all the latest winners that we're dropping. And let's dive into these best bets. For my first best bet of the day, I'm going to go to the NBA hardwood. And yesterday, I gave you guys an angle that we've been exploiting in the NBA, and that is NBA unders since the All-Star break. I mentioned yesterday, before yesterday's games, that games have gone 38, 21, and 1. That was a 76% hit rate to the under since the All-Star break. Well, yesterday, we had a split day. 3-3 to the over or to the under, either way that you looked at it. And one game went into double overtime. That game didn't go into double overtime. That one probably would have went under as well. So now I'm going to keep running it back with this under trend because it's still consistently been hitting. And I'm going to go to the marquee matchup tonight that's on TNT as we got the Warriors and the Knicks. Right now, the Warriors are 4-point favorites on the road. I don't know if I can necessarily lay that, but I can go with the under 233.5 minus 110 odds. I'm not overthinking this, my friends. Not a whole bunch of analysis. Both of these teams are under teams. Let's go through the numbers, okay? Warriors this year, 29-27 to the over overall this year. Meanwhile, the Knicks, 23-36 to the under as a team. So there we go, right? The Knicks are at home. I give them the advantage. We've mentioned several times on the channel how good the Knicks' defense is at home. Top 3 in the NBA in terms of points allowed at the Garden. They do not give a lot of points at the Garden. Both of these teams have been trending under recently. Gone under in 4 straight games for both of these teams. Meanwhile, the Warriors are 1-9 to the under in their last 10, and the Knicks are 3-7 to the under in their last 10. Now let's look at it even deeper. On the road, the Warriors are 11-14 to the under. Meanwhile, the Knicks are 9-21 to the under at home. Love that angle as well. As favorites, Warriors are 16-19 to the under, and as underdogs, the Knicks are 12-13 to the under. So for me, this is a matchup where Brunson is still questionable with the next injury. I do think he plays, but even if he does play and really gets ruled in, this might go up 1 or 2 more points. Doesn't matter to me. I think both of these teams are more defensive-minded. The Warriors are playing a little bit slower and a little bit more of a defensive-minded game as they've been picking up a lot of wins. I think they realize they don't have that high-powered offense that they used to have, and now that they move Clay to the bench, they've got Kuminga, they've got Brandon, however you say his name, Padau starting for them. They've changed up the lineup there, and as a result, these games have been going under, but they've also been winning more. So for me, I think the Warriors and the Knicks both know in this matchup they can't get into a shootout, and this one's going to be an old school, grinded out type of game. I will not be shocked if the Warriors don't score more than 110 points in this game. For me, I'm just going to go with the overall under this game. Just go with the trend, go with the numbers, don't overthink it. Under 223.5. Keep riding the under trend in the NBA that's been hitting at a crazy rate since the All-Star break. And the Knicks have been an under team all year long, especially at the Garden. Let's keep it going today. Now, for my second best bet of the day, we're going to head to a college basketball slate, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be 2 teams that I bet you don't really follow too much. But listen, a winner is a winner, and we're going to go for a winner because at this point, I don't even know where to look. I don't know what's hitting, what's not. We got road favorites losing. We got home favorites, double-digit favorites losing. I mean, we got road underdogs, double-digit points winning. I don't know what's going on in college basketball. But I'm going to keep exploiting the angle that I've been exploiting for the last several weeks is we have teams that have something to play for. And I'm going to keep going towards that because that means a lot now that we're getting down into March. The last few weeks of the regular season, I think we have like 2 weeks left in the college basketball regular season before we start conference tournament time. For me, I have to go with teams that are incentivized to play right now. And we got to go with this Tarleton State team against Utah Tech. I know two teams that you probably don't hear about too often in the WAC conference, but I'm taking Tarleton State. They are on the road, but I'm taking them -2.5. Pay for the juice here. I think it's at -3 on the book, so pay for the little extra hook there to get to -120 odds. Now, you might be saying to yourself, no, but I don't know anything about Tarleton State. Why are we taking Tarleton State? If you've been a fan of the OG of the channel, then you know we took Tarleton State all the way back in December when they played University of Tennessee, and we took their team total under in that matchup, and it actually did hit. But this Tarleton State team is very good, and they're right there in the top of the WAC conference, and they have a chance really in this matchup to be able to get the #1 seed. Let me explain what's going on in the WAC conference in terms of a standings perspective. The #1 team in the conference is Grand Canyon. They're 14-3 in conference on the year. Number 2 is Tarleton State, 13-3 in the year, and then the third team is Seattle, 11-6 in conference. So really, it's just a two-team race at this point, unless something completely falls apart. But Tarleton State has a game in hand on Grand Canyon. They're only half a game back. The beautiful thing that I like about this matchup with Tarleton State is they're one of the hottest teams in all of college basketball right now. They've won 8 straight games in a row, including beating Grand Canyon 2 games ago. The reason why the 2 games ago is really important is because normally after you beat a team that's ahead of you in the rankings on the standings, then the next game is normally a letdown spot, right? Well, they bounced back after their 77-74 win at home against Grand Canyon to now be able to be tied for first place in the conference. And then they beat Cal Baptist in their next game at home, 82-65. So you would expect it to be a letdown spot, but guess what? They were able to rebound. Now they are going on the road to Utah Tech. So I do understand how people are saying, well, both of those games were at home. No, well, now this is a road game. This is the letdown spot for them. That makes sense. But if you look at Utah Tech this year, they absolutely suck. 6-10 in the conference, which is near the bottom of the league, okay? They don't stop absolutely anybody. And Tarleton State beat them last time when they played. Granted, that game was at home for Tarleton State, but that was earlier in January, and they won that game 86-68. So it really wasn't that close of a game at all. Tarleton State is ranked 138th in KenPom. Meanwhile, Utah Tech is ranked 277th on KenPom. But the reason why I like this game so much is Tarleton State, like I mentioned, beat Grand Canyon, right? 2 games ago. That now allowed them to really get back in the hunt for that #1 seed. But Grand Canyon left the door wide open for Tarleton State. You know why? Because they lost their next game as well to Abilene Christian. So Grand Canyon has lost 2 straight games in conference play after starting off conference play 13-1. They're now 14-3. Well, guess what? The door is wide open for Tarleton State now with 3 games left to go in conference to really be tied for first place in this conference. So for that reason alone, I just don't think they're going to let this game slip through their hands against a very beatable Utah Tech team. And they have an opportunity to at least finish tied or even take the lead for first place in the conference if Grand Canyon continues to slip up. Those 2 back-to-back losses for Grand Canyon was huge for Tarleton State. It opened up the door for them, and the question is, are they going to take advantage of it? I think they are. They have a very good defense, and they like to play slow. That is one of the things that I really love about this Tarleton State team is that they're going to force you to grind it out in the half court, and they force a lot of turnovers. 32nd in college basketball on the defensive side in terms of turnovers forced. Meanwhile, Utah Tech likes to play fast, but because they like to play fast, 75th in tempo, they turn over the ball a lot on the offensive side. 354th in turnover percentage on the offensive side. So for me, those 2 teams offset. One fast team who turnovers the ball, one slow team that causes a lot of turnover. I'm going to go with the better team that causes the turnover. And even though Utah Tech is at home, I think we're getting a lot of value on Tarleton State because of that fact. This line has actually already moved in favor of Utah Tech, which I do not agree with at all because it opened up at like 4.5 for Tarleton. Now you can get it at 2.5 on certain books or 3 if you pay for the juice. And I'm willing to do that. So I'm not overthinking it. The conference standings and everything I just mentioned, big game here for Tarleton State, tied for first in the conference. If they lose this game, they're going to basically be guaranteed a 2 seed in the conference tournament, which is not bad, but this is a one big conference. You want to have the easiest route to the NCAA tournament as possible, and the fact that Grand Canyon has dropped the ball leaves the door wide open. So give me Tarleton State -2.5 as our second best bet of the day. Now, our third and final best bet of the day, we are going to go to an NBA player prop, and we are going to go to my boy who's been cashing for us all year long. He's been a wagon, especially when it comes down to his steals and blocks. You might know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the freak, not the Greek freak, but Victor Wembanyama. And we're going to go over 10.5 rebounds today. It is a little bit expensive. Minus 125, minus 130 I'm seeing on certain books, but I'm willing to lay it because he has a very favorable matchup today against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Spurs have played 2 times this year, and Wemby has absolutely grubbed on the boards in both of those games. He's played 28 minutes in both of those matchups, so not a whole lot. Over the last 5 games, he's been averaging over 30 minutes a game, so we love to see that. But in both those games, he had 14 rebounds in one game and 11 rebounds in the other game. He had 14 rebounds in one game and 12 rebounds in the other game. So he's averaging 13 rebounds over the 2 games against the Thunder. Obviously, you know that Chet Holmgren right there, the 2 rookies, they're probably going to go at it, so extra incentive for Victor Wembanyama as well. But also keep in mind that OKC has been getting killed on the board by big men all year. They give up the 5th most rebounds to power forwards this year and the 3rd most rebounds to centers. So for me, Victor, that means you got to eat. You've been the guy. You've been the person who's been grabbing all the boards for the Spurs. Over the last 5 games, he's been averaging 11 rebounds, so right over this number. And if you look at some of his recent game logs, in his last game against the Timberwolves, 13 rebounds. 10 rebounds against the Jazz the game before that. 10 rebounds against the Lakers the game before that. 13 rebounds against the Kings. So when he's facing other big men, other teams that he has to go and grab rebounds against, he's gotten it done. OKC have a very hard time really cleaning up the boards, and I'm expecting Wemby to grub. He's done it in 2 games this season. If you don't want to pay for the juice, then maybe you take this down to 10, and then you parlay it with Shai to get over 30 points as well. That's going to wagon all year. He's gone over that total in 5 straight, and he's also gone over it in one of the 2 games that he's played the Spurs this year. But the first time he only scored 28, but that was because he only played like 25 minutes due to a blowout. So for me, as long as this game stays close, even though it's about 11, 12 points in favor of the Thunder right now, I think Wemby can put up a little bit of fight, or the Spurs can, and I'm expecting him to grub on the boards. So let's cash that as our 3rd and final best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are headed for your way on this Thursday slate. Give me the under the Knicks and the Warriors. Give me Tarleton State minus 2.5, and then give me Wemby over his rebounds. For more of my best bets and plays, click the link in the description. Join the free Discord group. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Later, gang. Let's have a day.